Okay, the next match was Takeshita versus Hobbs for the International Championship. Takeshita did retain, and everybody went for Takeshita except for Mark.
I would have loved it if Hobbs won. That would have been so awesome to get like a big lose, big L to Phallus and his people. He was there too. He was there during the commentary. He was trying to cheat whenever it looked like, those times that Takeshita was in danger of losing and all that.
The thing is, I don't remember much about the match. I didn't take many notes about the match, but the one thing that kind of stood out is when Takeshita did an inverted pile driver on Hobbs. It just looked really kind of impressive to me because of how heavy he is.
Yeah, Hobbs is a big dude to pick up and
Going back a little bit, I did forget to mention one thing with the MJF thing. The funniest thing to me, I will say real quick about MJF that I didn't say before. You can't. His character is officially stupid and dead in the water because he does. His whole gimmick is I'm better than you and you know it, but he also has a tattoo of the fucking company on him permanently. So you don't get to tell everyone you're better than the company when you have it literally branded on you. Like that's like I'm free. I could take these chains off whenever I want. It's like, you sure about that, bud? Like that's kind of my mentality. I forgot to mention that before. I forgot. Sorry.
Okay. So they say no more with Hobbs there. He did sell the knee when he hurt his knee or whatever.
So at least that's
from the injury. Apparently, he was gone for. He had a knee injury, so he was selling the knee during the match.
Well, at least someone's selling.
Yeah. Like you said, at least somebody is selling. Oh, there you go, a knee injury. Okay, Ospreay, why couldn't you have a knee injury? You could have been nursing that throughout your matches and just, oh, God, all that unnecessary blood. Adam Cole getting blooded up was stupid. I'm sorry. I don't remember much about this match. I didn't really pay as much attention to it as I probably should have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even really pay attention to this match at all, in all honesty. I really
watch it.
Gun to my head, I couldn't remember anything out of it.
Hobbs was there. Takeshita was there.
I really didn't remember much about this match.
Okay. Well, Takeshita won.
Yes, there we go.
That's all I can say. And of course, we all know Panda's view, because like I said, the slap heard around the world was just too much for him. Couldn't handle it.
Mm-hmm.
All righty. Now, the next match is, as you can see, with this fool over here beside me. Lord, it's Mercedes Mone versus Kris Statlander for the TBS Championship.
No, sorry, I don't want to interrupt, but this has to be the if there's a match that will really want to make you quit watching this pay-per-view, it has to be this one, just because Mone's there.
What's really funny? I heard people online rave, and I'm not joking when I say this, rave about how this was one of the greatest women's matches of all time. I'm not kidding. Multiple websites said that. I'm like, okay, either you've never watched a woman match, or you've never watched any Stardom matches, or you've never watched a good match. One of the three.
I wouldn't say the best of all time. I mean, I thought it was actually a decent match but I'm like the other stuff on the card.
Yeah, this one Mercedes.
Hell, Athena, pretty decent. Athena has had better matches than her.
Oh yeah, oh man, like Athena versus what was the other one? Mercedes Martinez. That was like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like,
freaking Athena versus Willow.
Imagine
Athena versus Willow was a masterpiece.
Tijuana Street Fight Athena versus Martinez.
Or even just Even with
Hell,
the
even the
sucks.
match. Hell, what about that match between? If you want to go AEW, what about the match between Thunder and DMD? Like that was a fucking great match. That blew this one out of the water. So what the hell is everyone talking about? Who's the greatest ever in AEW? I'm like, the fuck are y'all? Are y'all high? Like,
I mean, the only
it
credit
wasn't
that
bad.
Mercedes was better than normal in this match. She was pretty
It was
decent.
good. It was
Yeah.
a good match, but I would think I think Mariah May versus Tony Storm was a better match, honestly, when they fought.
Yeah. The only thing is that, oh man, I really wish that Kris won this one because it kind of beats like, okay, they already had the match before. Why bring her back if she's not gonna win this time? Like to like sell the score or whatever. And there were some times where she was just so close that you would think that, and the crowd was eating it up because the crowd hates Mone. They love Kris. They hate Mone.
Yeah.
Every time that Kris was like real close to pinning her and everything, the crowd was like, they were losing their shit.
Yeah,
man.
they were.
They should have really taken at the hint that just let her win.
But Weston A has her contract, so she got to keep her title. She got to keep a title, at least, I would think. So, like I said, for this one, let me see anything I noticed. Oh, yeah. What's they did? 7 rolling the suplexes in a row.
Oh, yeah.
That just looked tiring. And then let me see what else here.
Didn't Kris give him back also? Like, just did suplexes on her? Like, return the favor?
No.
But I think Mercedes did like 12 amigos or 7 amigos. 7 amigos.
Yeah.
Something like that. There's a part where Mercedes tied up Chris's boot in the in the ring rope or whatever it was.
Taking advantage of it while her foot's stuck.
Yeah. But the dumbest thing about this match that got on my last doggone nerve was the stupidity with the countouts. I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
How count-out work in AEW? Because apparently they don't understand it.
Yeah, but one thing I always get, and you know more of the rules and history than I do, Jack, but aren't countouts supposed to be that both people got to get into the ring? Because in AEW, when the 2 people are out, it seems that as long as one person can beat the count, it counts for both because it never, you know what I mean?
No.
Yeah, well, okay. I know with AEW, I believe it just goes off of basic American rules, which is if there's 2 people out, it's a double count out and the champion retains. And it basically a count out means the champion retains. The only time it doesn't is in Japan, because in Japan you can actually lose a title via count out because it's considered like dishonorable.
Well, I don't mean in terms of title changes. I mean when both opponents are out in the ring, don't both of them have to come in and break the count? Because in AEW has been 1,000 times. Both are out of the ring. And it looks like as long as one of them breaks the count.
That means you still counting for the other person that's still
But they don't. They stop.
That's what I mean. That's why I say it's nonsense.
If 2 people are out of the ring and say it counts to 8, one person rolls in and rolls back out, it breaks the count and resets it. That is
okay.
That is
so it
basic
doesn't have to be
wrestling
both
rules.
people.
No, just one.
Okay.
One person has to go in the ring to break the count, come back out, and the count resets.
Does that also WWE rules too? I don't remember that.
That's all wrestling.
Oh,
as far as counts.
Okay.
Yeah.
That just
that's all
They
wrestling.
just kept doing it. The problem is they kept doing it, and it was just so unnecessary.
This is what was stupid about that match. Okay, here's what was stupid. So there was a spot where she had her leg tied to the base of the thing, and then it went 9, and she came in, broke the ring out, and then came back out. And then cut to about 4 minutes later, Kris Statlander's outside, and then Mone goes in the ring. It's like, yeah, go ahead, counter out. I'm like, you had it won, bitch. Why would you Why would you now want to count out when you had it at 9 before? You could have stayed out there and retained.
Oh, that's what yeah.
And the nonsense, it was that stupidity. I was like, why go out, then break the count, go back in, and then you want to count out when you already could have had the count out. Unless it was like, oh wait, it's too early. Can I get back in the ring?
I mean, maybe
it's like whenever I see it's the frustration of like anytime you see, and I get why they do it to add tension. It's like when you see a wrestler hit a finisher and they go 1, 2, and then they force the opponent's hand up to break the count because they want to add more punishment. You're like, dude, you already had it 1. Why are you adding shit? And then it usually ends up backfiring them.
The punishment must be more severe.
I'm just like but it didn't make any sense from a technical point of view of like wrestling. Like you wanted to win via count out. Why the fuck didn't you just roll back in? If she had 9, Mercedes rolls in 10, winner. Like it's like it was so stupid. It was so stupid.
Side of that, like I said, it wasn't a bad match. I thought it was a pretty good match for what it was. And like I said, in my opinion, these are one of the better matches that were on the card. I mean, as far as the ring work.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, you had your stupid spots, the stupid situations like the count out nonsense, but Mercedes actually worked, it actually looked like she was trying. And I do like Statlander. So
now here's the thing though, with people like Jack is saying, people were gushing about the match. Had Kris won, would that have been maybe the match of the night?
It would have been nice if she would have won. I mean, I would like to have been wrong because for this one, everybody went for Mercedes except for the Rodriguez brothers.
Yeah, it's like for me personally, it just makes no sense to have her go up against Mercedes a second time so soon, unless this was the one where she actually beats her. And I know she's got the super duper plot armor and all that kind of junk, but it's like she already beat her once. Why make such a big deal and all this? Here's the rematch. Oh, gonna lose again, whatever, like, I don't know. I don't like that kind of stuff.
Okay, so I have the same opinion of like Mark's opinion. I think that it's kind of a time waster to bring Kris Statlander again in this match, and then she lost again the second time. Like, how disappointing is that? But on top of that, I felt like as much as I hate Mercedes Mone, I will have to admit that she did shine a little bit more in this match. I think she finally learned how to wrestle, I guess.
Oh man.
But no, seriously, I felt like this match was pretty entertaining. Like, I wouldn't say it's like the greatest match on earth, but it was still very entertaining because I think it was still like a lot of the going back and forth. Like it's kind of like it's almost like a tied match, like because either one of them could have won this match, which made it even more disappointing that Mone won this match because I actually wanted Statlander to win this one. But the match did have a lot of suspense, and it did have a lot of the things that that the MJF match didn't have, or
Entertainment.
Yeah, there was entertainment. So it kept me entertained. I'll just say that. And actually, I personally feel like this was probably the most entertaining match of the entire pay-per-view.
Oh, something else that Mercedes apparently did keep saying was like, why won't you die? I'm like, so we're condoning murder?
Haven't you seen any pay-per-view with Moxley in it?
Oh, yeah.
Remember, this is the same company that has like paper bags trying to asphyxiate Daniel Bryan.
Oh, and that's right. They were pouring chemicals down what's his name through.
Oh,
but thank goodness FTR came into the rescue.
Yep.
Who are they pouring the chemicals on? I don't remember.
I forget.
Yeah.
Oh, probably Cassidy. I think it was Orange Cassidy.
Oh. Okay, so anyway, as mentioned, Mercedes retains, and but one good thing I thought was nice about the ending of the match, everyone cheering for Statlander even though she lost.
Yeah.
So I thought that was kind of cool. They get like a stand, like they were like standing ovation and all that stuff.
Yeah, she's awesome.
After Mercedes left the ring, it was kind of cool, and there were some boos in there, so for Mercedes.
Yeah.
All right, so after that. Our next match is, because they won their semi-finals, is Ospreay versus Okada. And since a few of you guys thought that Fletcher was going to win the match, y'all already out of the running, so that means no Johnny, no Panda, because they both thought Fletcher was going to make it here. Everybody else went for Osprey, and nobody gets a point because Okada retained.
Yeah. So basically,
Let's finish it. Using a Rainmaker on Osprey.
yeah. So basically, with this one, it was basically just what's his name? Basically, Osprey is still very fucked up with what happened with the thing.
Oh, that well.
Well, I mean, it was the whole, I guess, press for time, gotta hurry, whatever. I don't know.
No, I'm sorry. He had time to go and take a damn shower.
That's what I was saying. I literally said, "Do none of y'all motherfuckers have a wet nap?" Like, what?
No,
He go to the restroom.
there were no showers in the premises. I don't know.
He could have went to
Just
the
a bucket?
restroom,
Yes.
wash his
Just
face,
got a bucket?
all that stuff with all the matches in between.
Yeah, whatever. They were busy. Anyways, they were, estamos está ocupado, But anyways, it was basically just how much how much fight did Osprey have left in him? How long can he endure? Can he somehow overcome all odds? And unfortunately, no, he didn't. And Okada took him out and everything. Now, I did hear some interesting things. There were people complaining online that this is the only way the match could have gone, based on how injured Osprey was, because it would make him kind of look bad if he can't even beat a badly injured Osprey.
Yeah,
And everything.
that makes sense logically.
Yeah, but I mean, well, the truth of it was with the tournament finals, I didn't watch the whole thing. I didn't watch all the tournament, but just to watch the tournament finals, the truth of the matter is Osprey hurt himself so badly, and Okada barely broke a sweat. So it's kind of like, had I known that, I would have voted for Okada. One thing I will say, and I say this sincerely, first of all, fuck Excalibur, fuck AEW, because they said something that pissed me off to no fucking end. They had the balls to claim that this tournament equates to Masahiro Chono's historic victories, because they were going, well, this is his 5th tournament victory, tying him with Masahiro Chono. No, the fuck it doesn't, because Masahiro Chono is the first person to win, is the only person to win 5 G1s. No one had ever done that, and no one will ever do that. Okada was the closest with 4. But then they go, well, he won this one, so it counts as 5. Bull fucking shit. No, it doesn't. That's the equivalent of someone winning. Imagine someone winning 1 Royal Rumble, and then they win 2 Money in the Banks, and they go, that's his 3rd Rumble win. I'm like, no, the fuck it isn't. No, it's not. It's not the same thing, asshole.
He won the Pokemon tournament.
Like, you can't carry a victory from one tournament to another. That's not how tournaments work.
So wait a minute.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of weird.
So by his law, even though I've beat my brother like 3 times in chess, I'm a 5-time WrestleMania champion.
Basically, yeah, the equivalent of it. That's the equivalent of it. Well, you see, I won the King of the Ring once, and therefore, I am now I'm owed a shot at WrestleMania. No, the fuck, you're not. Like, it's the equivalent of that. I'm like, no, that's not.
Tournaments and 1 Pokemon tournaments. I'm a 3-time Yu-Gi-Oh tournament champion, bitch.
And I'm like, that's not how tournaments work. They're 2 separate tournaments. There's a difference between the G1 and the breakfast tournament. I don't give a shit about the breakfast tournament. And yes, I'm going to keep calling it the breakfast tournament because the Continental Belt is fucking breakfast. That's the only thing you ever use the term continental for. You don't use it for when you're referring to a continent, because you refer to it as a continent, not a continental. Continental is only referred to as breakfast. That's it. It's food. That's it.
Well, I'm sorry,
Nothing
I'm going to
else.
finish my level 40 at Tetris, because unlike Cody, I've got to finish the story.
I have to say that Mercedes won using the clutch pin. Haha. Anyway, next.
Well,
John-
yeah, hey, Mercedes Mone, as you guys know, she is now a 3-time WWE champion because she has 2 belts. And
Like that's how it works.
that's
I
how
don't
it
know, that
works.
was kind of weird. I mean, I remember him mentioning something about a tournament or something. But I was like, but is that the
It's called
is that
inflating the numbers.
same?
No, it's not. It's
I mean,
not.
I was kind
The
of a little
G1,
lost.
here's the thing. Here's the thing. The G1 is considered the hardest tournament in all of pro wrestling. The only other tournament that's close to it is the 5-star Grand Prix, which is Stardom's equivalent. And the Red Robin tournament
It was
that
in
is
G1, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
the Continental Classic is a ripoff of the G1. It's literally a ripoff of it. But the difference is, if you wanted to make it a full ripoff, here's what you do. First of all, you don't call it the Continental Classic. It's a fucking stupid name for a tournament. You call it the Wrestling Classic or the I don't give a shit. The flippy dippy bullshit classic. I don't care. But don't call it the Continental Classic. Don't have it for that stupid belt. If you want to make it like the G1, this is what you should do. Have that same kind of tournament. And then what you do, half the tournament are established talent, the other half newer talent, have them clash against each other. That'd be cool, like half and half, whatever. But the winner should get a shot, a main event at All In. That's what it should be, because the G1 Climax winner gets to main event Wrestle Kingdom. And until this year, no one has ever cashed it in beforehand. It's usually cashed in at Kingdom. It happened this year for the first time ever, but generally, it's basically the equivalent of winning the Royal Rumble. You're the main event. Doesn't matter who the fuck the champion is, you're the main event. So this tournament should be the same stakes. You should have it. If you're given this much effort and fighting and hard and hitting and this and that and this, it shouldn't be for a dingy ass belt no one gives a shit about. It should be for the top belt. It should be for the biggest show, the biggest prize. Make it fucking worth your while, not, hey guys, so I'm glad I know you just had a fight and you broke 16 ribs, but here's a ribbon.
Yeah, never mind.
The finals for the breakfast, for free breakfast at the hotel.
I'm still calling it the
For a
breakfast
free
belt.
continental breakfast.
Yeah, you get the Continental belt and you get a free stay at Holiday Inn. That's the winning prize for the Continental breakfast title. Hey guys, you get as much free cornflakes as you want. There you go.
They should just change the name to the IHOP title. Leave it at that.
Okay. Let me see.
Johnny.
Said Johnny. Any opinions on the Ospreay versus Okada match?
I don't really remember too much about the match, but I say that damn, Ospreay looks really bloodied up in this one. He looks horrible.
And wash them up just for like to add the emphasis and whatever.
Yeah, necessary. That's all I gotta say. Like I said, all those matches in between, and he couldn't take a shower. He couldn't just wash his hair, clean his face. They could have bandages on him or something. Not like, oh Lord. Anyway, as mentioned, Okada retained, and because Okada kept it. Christopher Daniels came out. And he was saying that he's no longer an EVP, but I didn't know that Daniels was supposed to be an EVP.
Yeah.
And instead he said, but this guy is, and Kenny Omega comes out. He doesn't say a word. He grabs the title, hand over to Okada. Like, yeah, it's on, bitch.
Yep. Epic stare down, and then Kenny just walks on out.
With his little bobblehead self, he just walks right backstage.
I still work here.
I just laughed because
but
I'm like,
but how about this? But not enough to do my return here. Not enough to do my return here.
Well, it's exactly what Gabe Kidd said. He said the only reason you decided to make your return in Japan is because you couldn't sell out a fucking arena. But it's the truth. And honestly, honestly, it's so funny because it's literally like, oh my God, Kenny Omega's returned. I'm like, oh my God, he already did. I mean, he's doing it again. Oh wait, no, he's gonna fight it in Wrestle Kingdom. Okay, he's gonna do it after. Yeah.
See, and you and me talked about that like a week ago on Messenger. Because I said, that comes to show how bad the company is when one of your head guys decides to make a return somewhere else before he even comes back to you.
One of my favorite things he said in an interview, because they asked him, like, how come you decided to do your return in Japan and not in AEW? And he goes, well, I just feel watching the show that they don't really need me. There's so many stars. There's such star power there that they're just unopposite. And everyone responded with, have you looked at the ratings? Have you looked at the show? Because I don't think you understand how little star power there is in that fucking show.
That was just his nice way of saying, you know what? Nah, I'm good.
No, I'm good. Yeah.
Guys, we're going to wrap this up to our main event that I didn't give a crap about. It is the AEW World Championship where Moxley wanted to do a four-way match between him, Jay White, Adam Page, and Orange Cassidy. And for this unnecessary match, let's see here. The winner was Moxley. He retained. And the only ones who got point for this one was Panda and DJF. Let me see.
It should have been Jay. Let's be 100% clear. It should have been Jay. He had that fucking match locked. The whole match, he beat everyone's ass.
Yeah, it was impressive.
Yeah, it's just especially when he uses finisher on Marina.
Oh yeah, I love that too.
I'm cheering that one. Say yeah, it's about damn time. When men and women fighting each other, like I said, if you don't beat up on the men may be able to beat up on you. That's how I roll.
And Marina's like established, like tough enough to take something like that.
That's how
it's not like he's doing a move on Riho or something. Marina's like,
oh God, Riho.
He's not hitting her with a chair.
He tried to do the finisher. I heard you probably slip out and blow away or something.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. Like Marina looks like she can take it without like ooh, you did that to a woman. Ooh, like Marina looks like a tough enough girl that can take it. You know?
Let's see, and at the end of the match, because Moxley won, and there was just shenanigans. I wasn't paying attention for most of this match. FTR showed up with Edge. And they went to take out the Death Riders. And during the whole match, Christian was watching it because he's holding his little plastic case, his little money in the, his little contract, so he can cash it. Sign it so he can get a world title shot. And then when he saw FTR and Edge show up, he was like, oh, he ain't going down there for nobody. So he took off.
Yeah, because originally that was his plan to come on down and attack whoever, because it would have been. But then, Copeland shows up. Ooh, no. Let's die here.
It showed up, and then they started doing their little fights. But at least one good thing, it did not end on a note with a 90-pound skate punk trying to climb up on a on a truck
and slipping and sliding like a damn fish.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what happened. And on let's see, on Dynamite now, Edge. Cope.
Yeah, now he's calling himself Cope, which is weird. Is part of the rated FTR.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, they're called the rated FTR or something now. So yeah, that's their little stable now.
They're gonna go against the Learning Tree.
Yeah. They're gonna go up against the Learning Tree or some nonsense. I don't know. But there's that thing where Adam said he always wanted to do a thing with Moxley or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So now he's getting a run with them. So I guess
we'll see how that goes.
Jack, please give your opinions on this nonsense.
I was pissed. I was irritated because I'm like, I knew. I mean, what more can I say? I mean, they're gonna just keep screwing Jay over and over and over. They gave him an out, and they still won't take it because John, because Moxie, because him and his stupid little cronies, because the Neo Moxleys decide to come in and be Neo Moxleys over and over again. And I'm just sitting here thinking, I could just tell Jay is just waiting out his contract at this point. He's just like, okay, I guess this is where I'm at. All right. He gives it his all. He gives it a good amount of effort, but he's also like, at the same point, you could tell he just doesn't give a shit anymore. And I'm kind of like, yeah, I get it, Jay. I get it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, like, who else is it? It was Orange Cassidy. Who was the other person?
Paige.
Paige. Oh. See, I Hangman is so uncharismatic and uninteresting. My brain like blocks him out. Like he's the unknown number. He when I see he's so boring. My brain thinks of him like the missing number from Pokemon. It's just like he's like ditch. He's like like digital. So I'm like, oh, what's that? I don't know. Fuck it. Yeah.
He burned down a house. That gives him personality with crazy eyes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I could drink a whole bottle of Metamucil and not give a crap.
He burned a house. Oh no.
Like we haven't seen that done before.
He committed something.
Like, unless someone was in the house.
Burning down people's houses.
He burned down a house that looked different from the house he was supposed to burn down.
Well, I mean,
Okay,
he burned the house down so epically the house fucking transformed as it was burning down.
I was just like, I'm sitting here thinking, just like, I'm like, to be honest, part of me was expecting them to just, like I said, they're already a joke at this point. Just go all out, put the fucking clown makeup on, put the clown shoes, put the clown nose, put the belt on Cassidy. Just fucking do it at this point. Because, like, you know, you got a guy who's 100 pounds soaking wet. Just fucking put the belt on him already. Like, at this point, I don't.
Any thoughts on return of Copeland and his new name? Because I think, wasn't it kind of like he was going to be gone
It's
for all
Cope.
year or something? Or
yeah, because he and I just laugh because I'm like he wants to present himself as this tough, intimidating guy, and I'm like, you're a dumbass who broke his own ankle jumping off a fucking cage. I'm like,
At least he acknowledges that was stupid.
no, he doesn't acknowledge it. He goes like, hey, I'm a tough guy. Yeah, I'm like,
Saying like, you know, the adrenaline was going, he just thought he could do it, and he just did it, and he realized.
One interview he did say it was stupid.
Yeah,
my
I thought
adrenaline was going. I didn't know how gravity worked.
See, that's the thing. He had too much adrenaline, the brain stopped functioning.
I mean,
I
let's
thought
just face it.
I thought Pac was the man that gravity forgot, not Copeland.
Let's just face it.
Oh,
he lost
the man,
his edge.
I'm sorry. He's not the man that gravity forgot. He's the man who forgot gravity. Sorry, mixed it up. My bad.
He lost his edge, and now we all got to cope.
He's pointy table now. He's pointed corners. Pointed corners. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, he named himself Cope. And I'm just like, I think that I really do believe that's what he did. He went, the reason I'm not getting over is because my name is too long. When I was at WWE, I was just Edge. So I'm just going to take my name and make it shorter. It's like, what about Adam? No. What about Land? No. Cope? Genius. I don't know why he doesn't just call himself Razor. I mean, it's close enough to Edge. Just
or Jagged.
Or what?
Jagged.
Jagged. See, Jagged would work. Edges. What is S? It's not the same. It's totally different.
Z, edges with a Z at the end because
With a Z, yeah. Because that's what the Hardys do. They can't call themselves the Hardy Boys. They just drop the boys and they're the Hardys. It's like, just do that. Just call yourself Edge, replace one of the E's with a 3, and everyone's like, oh, it's not the same. Whatever, same fucking thing. Who cares?
Or just something stupid like Edge, like an EJ or something like that.
Yeah.
Not only that, but like with Vince gone, are they like less petty or would they still sue or whatever?
If
Most
they're
of
still
that was the
making
McMahon
merchandise.
pettiness.
Yeah, like with Cody.
They basically, I think it's different with them because it's more of like, I think it depends on who it is, if they're willing to work with them. Because like basically, I think with Triple H in charge, he's allowed them to buy out the copyright instead of just strangleholding it. So it's like, oh, well, if you want the copyright to Edge, you just have to pay X amount of dollars. But like, then they'll basically say, because we're still making merchandise or whatever. So like, okay, like that I think is fair. Whereas Vince is like, haha, fuck you.
Yeah.
What do you think, Johnny? What do you think of this final match?
I also didn't care about this match. And yeah, it's just, I don't know. I just didn't like the match at all. And I'm just tired of Moxley at this point. Like, really, really tired of him. He has low charisma. All he does is like, promote these really bloody fights.
It was like super short. What we were expecting. And I guess it makes sense because it makes time for the Copeland stuff, but it was like so short. It was like kind of getting there. We're like, whoa, that's it. Like when it ended.
And then, of course, in this match, like many matches, I just don't see the point of putting Orange Cassidy in it. Like, why? I could still see maybe, Hangman Adam Page in this match. I could still see Jay White in it, which unfortunately he lost really bad this match. But I'm just saying in general, like, I can see those two wrestlers in the match. But why put Orange Cassidy? I feel like they just keep putting Orange Cassidy in these matches.
Well, because for this stupid story, they decided that he has to be like, he's like of all the other people, he's the big hero that can step up and defeat Moxley.
It's like playing a fighting game. You have your canonical winner. In this case, Orange Cassidy is supposed to be your canonical winner, I would have to say, for this fighting game, but you just still lost because you need to learn how to get the moves better, or you just put in some cheat codes, or you just do the thing where you can slow down the do the little lag trick, so you can get a cheap win.
So basically, it's kind of like Capcom versus SNK, where it's like no matter who you used and who you won with, the winners were still Dan Hibiki and Joe Higashi. And they weren't even in the tournament. So.
Never mind. Jeez. Yeah, it was kind of.
This match was kind of like whatever. I didn't really care too much about it. And for this to be like the big like main event, like, oh my God, like this is the match. Like, out of all the matches you got to watch in the pay-per-view, this is the match you got to watch. It's like, not really.
I mean,
in fact, both of the pay-per-view felt very average. I didn't really like too many of the matches. And the only one I actually liked, or better said, found it entertaining, which is kind of sad because it's Mone we're talking about, is the Mercedes Mone fight. That's how bad this pay-per-view was, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Say, yeah.
Considering bad matches, no plot.
Well, the one the street fight, right? It's
yeah, the street fight is so good.
No real build-up. You just spent 40 hours for a house show.
Yeah,
that's legitimately what you got. You paid $40 to watch a house show.
Yes, it's just a sad way to end 2024. Like, it was not a good ending. in that aspect.
Well, I guess they were banking on people were going to be more so excited Adam Copeland's back that would have been, like, I guess, ending on a good note or whatever.
Yeah, I guess. But in all honesty, like for me personally, the matches I actually liked the most was the Tier 1 Street fight and the Statlander and Mercedes match. I mean, which is kind of ironic coming from me because I don't care for Mercedes at all.
Yeah.
But I actually thought it was a halfway decent match. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, but Copeland coming back after such a shitty pay-per-view is the equivalent of getting kicked in the nuts and then someone offering you pancakes. It's like, okay, but it doesn't change the fact that you hit me. Like,
or as you said earlier, ow, my nuts. Here's the Continental title.
Here you go.
Well, as mentioned, Moxley retained for this match, and the only ones who went with Moxley were Panda and DJF. The Rodriguez brothers chose Jay White, and Jack and I chose Orange Cassidy. So it's kind of split all the way through there. So
because I knew they were gonna. I mainly did that because I knew they weren't gonna pull the trigger on Jay, and I figured as big a clown show as they were, they're probably gonna go with Cassidy.
Well, here's something about this whole match in general. Since it was for his title, ignoring Orange Cassidy for a second here, who really shouldn't have been in the match, like Johnny was saying, it would make more sense with Adam Page because his character is so obsessed with the title that him being in this matchup makes sense. And Jay White, I don't know. It's like they don't know what to do.
See, that's the thing. If they used so this is the problem. If they had the story of the underdog hero against all odds against Moxley, it would work, but not for someone like Orange Cassidy. Not for a guy like him, because his whole character has been like, he doesn't give a shit. So his character wouldn't work. But if you were to do a guy, if you were to build it up right, you could make Jay that guy.
Yeah.
Because you could literally have him use his history to prove, like literally, he could even prove his own history in Japan and go, they said I couldn't do this, and I did. They said I couldn't do this, and I did. This, and I did. And yet, you are telling me I can't do that with Jay. Jay as a character could work because his whole gimmick is that people underestimate him and he proves them wrong. But that's if they actually used him proper.
I mean,
but that's a big if.
Yeah, there's that. And also with Hangman Page, same thing goes for him. If they would have made him more like, I don't know, prevalent, like make him more unhinged, like, for God's sakes, when he was going up against the title for the title with Swerve, he drank Swerve's blood. That's how intense it was that he wanted to go for the title. And now it's just like, I'm just here.
He has the crazy eyes. Ooh. Anywho, all right, so for this pay-per-view, let's see. The winner is, let's see. Oh, wait. I think I miscounted. I'm blind, guys. I'm sorry. I know ahead of time, but. Oh, yeah, that's right. We had a tie. So our tie for this one is Jack and DJF. Next, it is. Oh, me with okay, y'all both had 9. And then next is me with 8. Next is Panda with 7. And then after that, Mark with 6. And unfortunately, Johnny is in last with 4. So what is the punishment for this one?
Oh my God, to rewatch this pay-per-view.
No. Watch it. You have to rewatch the Jeff. You got to rewatch the Jeff Jarrett QT Marshall match.
Okay, that's just cruel and unusual punishment.
No, you got You got to rewatch that match while listening to "I'm So Excited" the entire time.
Oh God, man.
That's just illegal.
Yeah, we don't want to condone death on here. Jeez.
Yeah, that's evil, guys. It's trying to be a liberal
No,
night.
that's AEW. No, I'm just kidding.
Damn, goodness gracious. But everything's great though. Everything's great. Ding.
But according to everyone that cut a promo there is like, AEW helped me, and we are the best people in the world. We work for the greatest company on the planet. Yada yada yada. I don't have a gun to my back, make me forced to say this, but I do have a check coming in the mail.
I love AEW so much, and they're the best. That's basically what they did.
Oh, yeah, did a little twinkly smile. Because even WWE wrestlers never did that, or WWF, they never just sat around talking about their life story and how WWE is the best place in the world. I mean, no.
If they do that,
promos.
the only time they do that is if it's like, I clawed my way to get here, but they don't go like, this company is amazing and I love it here and it's the greatest. It's like, no one does that.
Oh.
You don't need to build up the company if it's good enough.
Okay. Yeah,
It's the equivalent
exactly.
of, you know what it is? It's the equivalent of, I said this to someone. It's the equivalent of you're bringing up stuff out in the forefront that is making it more obvious that you know something's wrong. So it's the equivalent of like, hey guys, look, we're all normal. Like none of us think about having sex with brooms or anything. And you're like, that seems oddly specific, Jeff. Why did you bring that up? Like, it's like the equivalent of that. Like,
That's a little off topic here, but we just watched a crime video, and unfortunately, the guy's parents, or the grandmother and uncle were found, murdered in their home, in their home, and the cops were telling them, what they found and all that other stuff because he was the one that called it in because he was trying to get in the house. He said something was wrong, and he said, "Well, if they left, if everything in the will is going to me, but I had nothing to do with their deaths."
They always say that. They're always like, what? They're leaving me everything? That's crazy.
No, but no. The problem was
it was said that to the cops. She said,
yeah, when they were telling them what was happening at the scene, they called the cops there. They told them that they were found killed in the home, and he actually said that. Well, I'm getting everything in the will, but I had nothing to do with what happened there.
Yeah, it's always that.
Yeah,
but that's the same thing. It's like
the other one that was with him was just crying and upset because the cops telling him this, and he brings that up. It just came out of nowhere.
The more you verbalize it, the more it's obvious that there's something wrong. It's the equivalent of like, say you have a significant other, and you walk home, you come home, hey babe, how was work? No one cheated. You're like, what? You're like,
oh. There. What are you talking about? I didn't sleep with Vanessa. What are you talking about? You're at home? Like, home? You're what?
Oh, wait, Kenny got replaced by Kefla, I guess. Kefla wasn't there.
Like, that's the equivalent of that, of AEW, when they do that raw speeches. I'm all like, what is this, a homecoming game? What the fuck is this shit?
Yeah, I hate it. But they're coming to a pep rally, not cutting a promo about why they're going up against the person they're supposed to be fighting. I don't care if he used to be broke and lived out of a cardboard box under a bridge like Darby Allin. Yeah. Yeah, the fact that apparently he actually misses it that much, he keeps talking about it.
There's a cardinal rule in film, and I say this as a person who does reviewing. There's a cardinal rule in film. And that rule goes, show, don't tell. Don't tell me your company is amazing. Fucking show me. Don't tell me you're the best wrestling. Fucking show me. Don't
tell my students.
Stop telling me you're great and fucking do it. Fucking be great. Don't bullshit me and go, hey, those guys suck. We're better. Why do those guys suck? Well, because they're not us. Okay, but what do you bring that makes you better? Because if you were basing it off of, here's the thing, if you base it off of talent in the ring, New Japan is better than all of them. But and if you base it off of women, Stardom is the best. But if you were to base it off of overall A to Z product, WWE beats everybody. Hell, their NXT women's division is the best women's division on the planet. They have characters, they have great wrestling, they have great stories. All of that is perfectly melded in NXT. And then you've got WWE, they have some of the greatest storylines right now in WWE that everyone is invested in at least one storyline in WWE. And yet AEW, it's like, okay, what's the next show? Who's popular right now? Hang on, let's look at pro wrestling tees. Who's got the most shirts?
No. It's like, okay, picking a name out of hat. Okay. This person versus, let's see, Orange Cassidy versus, let me see, who has been on there in a while?
Lance Archer, I don't know.
Lance Archer, he still works here. There we go.
We're gonna have Okada versus Pac for the Owen Hart tournament. Why not? Who gives a fuck?
You know,
That is
scrapping
rather
the Owen Hart
unfortunate.
tournament, that could actually be a good match.
That would be if they did it right.
Yeah.
But I digress.
Yeah.
Well, so I guess
So overall thoughts on the pay-per-view, guys?
I think we've already gotten that.
Yeah. I guess those were the two matches. I do think if Kris won the match, that would have been a match of the night. But everything else,
I
despite
think Mercedes would have been more. I mean, I wonder what they would have done with Mercedes after that if Statlander would have beat.
one thing I was really hoping for is that Camille would have come in Camille would have come in and did some shenanigans to cost Mercedes the title.
Yeah, but I don't
That
know.
would be
I think you know what I think. This is what I think. I think she injured herself on purpose because she saw the writing on the wall, so she could escape. Just saying, it's just kind of weird, you know.
Well, there we go, guys. And that wraps up the first edition of the Diamond Cutter Wrestling Podcast for 2025. And yeah, there we go. So this is Mark Rodriguez signing off here.
Jack Knives from Jack Knives Reviews signing out.
William White, aka Ninja Panda 1980. I'm out of here.
You're going Ninja Jupi, also known as Jupi Chan, or you can just say Wendy here. And I'm going to turn this over to the one, the only, the man of the hour, the man with the power.
Too sweet to be sour.
Who's too sweet to be sour, the man who really, really, really thought this whole pay-per-view sucked. Johnny Rodriguez.
Johnny Rodriguez.
Oh, Johnny Man with the master plan.
Hi, guys.
Yep. Take care, guys.